This is the new Hyundai Creta. It's the company's answer to the Ford EcoSport, Nissan Terrano, as well as the Suzuki S-Cross. And as you can see, in terms of styling, this car really does have the number on its rivals. In terms of the styling, the Creta really does look like a mini Santa Fe. Key styling elements of course include that big grille up front which gets lots of chrome, those nicely shaped lamps, as well as the nice 17-inch alloy wheels on the side. And that, along with that nicely shaped rear tail lamp, really does make this car stand apart in a sea of compact SUVs. All in all, an excellent job from Hyundai in terms of the styling on the Creta. But before going any further, I would like to apologize if this review seems very positive and glowing in favor of the Creta. But hey, don't blame me, blame Hyundai for making such an excellent product. So we'll do things a little differently today and start talking about the negative points of the Creta first. The first negative is an obvious one. The Creta is a little more expensive than most of its rivals. The second negative is, even though its boot is decent in terms of shape and size, it is not as spacious as the ones on the Nissan Terrano as well as Renault Duster. And even the top-end version doesn't come with a four-wheel drive system. Well, even though there's no 4x4 option on the Creta, to be honest, how many owners take their SUVs for off-roading duties on a regular basis? I mean, that's something that very few owners do, and Hyundai knows this, and Hyundai also knows that the one regular place where most of the owners do go on a regular basis is on the highway, and on the highway this car is very impressive. And I have to say that the Creta does impress on the highway. What you need to do is choose the 1.6 liter diesel engine that we are driving right now. It's a very punchy motor, and it also comes with this 6-speed manual gearbox. And in fact, this is a gearbox which really does give the engine a lot of flexibility. So when you are doing speeds of about 110 kph, the engine is spinning at a relatively low 2000 rpm. And what that means is that the cabin feels like a very relaxed and calm place to be in. Well, the Creta comes with 3 engine options. There are 2 diesel options to choose from. There's a 1.4 liter diesel, and there's also 1.6 liter diesel, which we are driving at the moment. And there's also a 1.6 petrol engine option. Well, so if you are someone who truly enjoys performance as well as fuel economy, the 1.6 liter diesel engine is the one to go in for. Not only is it one of the more powerful engines in this class, it is also one of the most fuel efficient, delivering figures in excess of 19 kpl. Well, the high-set seats, the large glass area, and the slick and light gearbox, along with the light clutch and relatively light steering wheel, make the Creta a very easy car to maneuver around city traffic. Well, just like most other diesels on Hyundai cars, even the one on the Creta really does excel in refinement, and even when you rev it hard, it remains relatively quiet and the cabin doesn't become very noisy. And what that means is that if you are someone who sits in the back seat very often, it'll be difficult for you to tell if it's a diesel or a petrol motor which is powering the Creta. Well, I'll stretch out my neck and also say that the steering wheel on the Creta is the best on any Hyundai till date, and I say that because it's a very responsive steering wheel. It offers you good communication, even though it is light enough for the city, which makes this car very easy to maneuver around town traffic. It offers you plenty of weight in it when you are on the highway, and gives you good communication as well, making this car one of the better cars in the Hyundai portfolio for those long highway trips. Well, Hyundai seems to have got the suspension on the Creta spot on. Not only is it very comfortable when you are in the city, it really does soak in the bumps in the city. It also is pretty confidence inspiring on the highway, and it feels very stable and reassuring on the highway. And that, along with the fact that body lean is very limited, makes this a pretty good car for keener drivers. Well, the first thing I told myself as soon as I entered the cabin of the Creta is that, oh no, every other manufacturer in the compact SUV segment is in for a tough time, and that's because this car feels very good to sit in. It really is a very posh and upmarket place. The cabin quality is very good, and it really does come loaded with all the bells and whistles. Well, in terms of equipment, you get GPS-based navigation system, you get climate control, you get Bluetooth for your mobile phone. You also get audio controls as well as telephone controls on the steering wheel, and the obligatory start-stop button. And there's also traction control as well as electric operation for the side view mirrors. Well, in terms of safety, the Creta is pretty good, and you get 6 airbags on the top-end version, which really does enhance the safety of this compact SUV. Well, the comfort inside the cabin is pretty good. The front seats offer you good cushioning and the under thigh support is generous. The bolstering on the sides is good as well, and what that means is if you enjoy pushing this car into the corners, these seats will hold you well. Well, in terms of overall build quality as well as materials, yes, the Creta is pretty good, but it is not better than the Maruti Suzuki S-Cross. Remember, we've just driven that car as well, and this car is at par with the S-Cross. Well, in terms of practicality, it's a pretty good place to be in. You get two cup holders right over here next to the handbrake. You also get this big box where you can hide your favorite fruity beverage, and you also get a tray right here in front of the gear lever where you can keep your cell phone and wallet. And knee room, as you can see, is generous, and what Hyundai have done is that they have raised the front seats, and what that means is that I have place below them where I can stretch my feet. Well, it is generally a wide car at the back, and the floor panel is also relatively flattish, so what that means is whoever's going to sit here has plenty of place to stretch his feet at. Well, if you are someone who constantly uses his cell phone or his tablet and you always need to charge it, then Hyundai have thought about you, and what they have done is put a 12-volt socket over here to ensure that your phone is always with the full battery. Well, even though the Creta isn't truly perfect, it does come pretty close. And without any shadow of a doubt, it is the best compact SUV that you can buy at the moment in India. But if you're not as convinced about it as I am, you should also check out our review of the Maruti Suzuki S-Cross by clicking on this link over here, and also its other rival, the Nissan Terrano, by clicking on this link over here.